Now we come to a very exciting project. This project, the idea for this project comes from a tradition in South America. It started some years ago by women. Women in South America and in many other countries, they love sewing. They do wonderful things. They make beautiful textiles by hand sewing. This textile collage that we are going to learn today or learn about are called Arpilleras. It's a bit difficult, but it will appear on the screen for you to read it. They are wonderful in a way that it brings together a group of people. They work together, they work in their community room, or they work whatever they used to meet, and they share food, they share their thoughts, they talk about their children, they talk about probably what is going on in the community. So it's a wonderful opportunity to sit, relax, and talk very quietly, and that can be done in the classroom, and it's incredibly relaxing. Here I have a beautiful sample of an arpillera done by women in different countries, and it has a narrative. That means that they're telling a story using these bits of fabrics. There's probably the mother with two children here, and are in the front garden probably. There's a bit of garden here, and they live in a house that has a veranda at the front. It's nighttime probably because there is light inside, and behind you can see the hills. And guess what? It's going to be a storm. There's lightning coming there, and it's a beautiful tall story, but using just textiles and stitching. There's another arpillera here done by young children like you, a self-portrait. Imagine making your portrait out of fabrics. So the beautiful dark hair here, a beautiful happy mouth, beautiful face, all stitched up. And for the background, we always use this material called hessian. And this is our project about arpilleras. Again, we're going to use this natural color hessian, and you can stitch. It's important to stitch around so it doesn't come undone. It's very there are a lot of frills. It's a very open woven material, so it will frill very easily. So it's important to do a running stitch like that, or you could do the stitch, this other kind of a stitch, which is you know, from back to front over, from back to front over. And also I got this other one that is color hessian, and just to stitch around there with the sewing machine will be lovely, but to do it yourself you can do it in this way or this way here. This is an arpillera made with bits and pieces that come from those materials that I showed at the beginning, which is this is an old scarf, that was another scarf, this was a weaving we did. So all of these can be stitched with the plastic needle, very easy to stitch. So we can come from the back here and do to the front and do the same stitch around here like this, like that, and then another, and you have to find the little bits here where the needle can get through, because this is, remember, this is cotton, that this weaving is made with cotton bits, with fabrics. So there will be always some bits that you can get through, some little holes there, like that. Now we are not telling a story here, we are mainly concentrated in color, textures and shapes, but you can tell a story, or you can make your self-portrait like the one I show you by using fabrics a bit of felt. That's for your face. You have to be creative. Your face could be blue, yellow, black, white, any colors you like. It could be round, it could be a triangle. If I feel like I have a square face, I like to have a square face, I would do a square face. So it's a matter of being imaginative. Now, if you are working with cottons and felts, you will be probably from 8 years of age to 15 years of age, or even like in Latin America, women do this, adults. So it could go through many, many different levels of, you know, if you want to tell a story, if you want to do something simple or more complicated, it will be determined by your age. Now, using felt and using this dress material, you will need to use the tapestry needles with this cotton. This is called crochet cotton. So it's easy to sew. So you can sew your bits, and then you can add hair. You can sew some buttons and add eyes. You can cut other bits and use for a mouth, or a better mouth if you like. Or you can have a bit here, so a bit there, and make a tie. So there's a lot of things that you can do, many possibilities. You can use your imagination in a wonderful way using these materials. Coming back to our very easy arpillera here, sewing with plastic needles. We're sewing this bit that we did the sewing before, the weaving, just concentrating mainly on the shapes and textures and colors. So I like to finish this to give you another possibilities. I'll finish like which I finished before with the loop, passing the needle through the loop twice, finishing this one on the back. It's different from the doll. The doll you can do all on the top. This is got a front and a back to work on. So if you are very young, and if you find this kind of a stitch a bit difficult, you can also do running stitch to stay from the back, and in and out and pull, and in and out and pull. This is called running stitch. So you can stitch your bits to the base by using running stitch. There is something that we could do to prepare these bits before we actually stitch them on the base. Here I have this wonderful little scarf that I bought at Opportunity Shop, an op shop, and I'll cut a shape, just a simple shape like that. And before I stitch that on the base, I got another base here. Before I start stitching that on the base, you will have the alternative to do this stitch back to front over, back to front over, so they won't frill. So we can use it in this way, like this. I got a needle here ready. So this is an example. This came from another scarf, or it could be a sweater or a jumper. And there we go. We go back to front, pull, back to front, pull, back to front, pull. So you do this preparation before you actually stitch that on your base. To finish this idea, one more thing, a little thing. Here we have a worry doll that is going to be our next project. That worry doll can be also stitched on your base there, on your arpilleras, as the photograph of the arpilleras done by a community of women did. They used little people. They made the little people, and then they stitched the little peoples on their arpilleras. So that is a beautiful arpillera made with very simple materials, very easy to handle, very easy to find. Thank you. Let's go to the next one.